What up, what up, what up? How are y'all doing? I'm doing great as usual. Well. The boxing world has just kind of got shattered in a weird, good way today. As you all know, Teofimo Lopez, who beat Lomachenko, is now considered the undisputed lightweight champion, but not really, because you got Devin Haney as the WBC regular champion. That's a whole weird situation, but that's not what this video is about. Teofimo Lopez was not happy with his fight guaranteed minimum, which I believe is 1.25. I did a video on this 3-4 days ago that he was not happy with his purse minimum for title defenses. He's set to fight George Kambosos uh, for the IBF, well, for all the belts, but he's a mandatory for the IBF. So Teofimo Lopez did not agree to a contract through his promotional company, Top Rank. So what happens when you can't come to an agreement? You go to purse bids. Now, purse bids allow any and all promotional companies to bid on the fight to gain rights to that fight. And whatever promotional company wins that purse bid can put it on any network they see fit. So, a lot of people consider this a gamble. But when you're a guy like Teofimo Lopez who thinks his guarantee is low, which it is, and then when you're fighting a guy that makes very little money, as in George Kambosos, it's really not a risk to go to purse bids. So they went to purse bids today. Now, the only three companies that were reported on bidding on this fight was, of course, Top Rank, Teofimo Lopez's promotional company, and they bid for this fight 2.3 million. It's a decent bid, but that would give maybe Teofimo a little bit of bump in his initial pay of that 1.25. And then the second company to bid on this fight was Matchroom and Eddie Hearn. And they came in with a bid at 3.5. Now, that would have been a big pay increase for Teofimo Lopez. But what would you know? A third company bid on this fight. And I didn't see this coming. I didn't think this was a serious company or promotional company. I thought this was a gimmick promotional company. But that company is Triller. And Triller jumped off the balcony and bid $6.8 million. Pretty much almost double of Matchroom. Now, what does that mean for Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos? Well, for George Kambosos, he just hit the lottery because he doesn't make anywhere near that money. So, you take that $6.8 million. Since Teofimo Lopez is the champion, he's entitled to 65% of that $6.8 million. George Kambosos is entitled to 35% of that 6.8. So needless to say, maybe I got my numbers wrong. It's either 6.8 million or 6.3. Yeah, maybe it was 6.3. But either way, George Kambosos is set to earn $2.1 million. Now, I didn't take time to research what was George Kambosos' highest purse he's ever made. I'm assuming it's when he fought Lee Selby last. I didn't look up the numbers, but that's who George Kambosos beat to get this mandatory position. Lee Selby is a UK matchroom fighter. So, Teofimo Lopez is set to make $4.2 million. So this was a gamble that has worked out for Teofimo Lopez. I saw him do an interview with another YouTube channel, and he said, everybody just wait until Thursday. There's going to be a big surprise coming. Now, I thought he could have been on the right track, but I sure as hell didn't think it was going to be $6.3 million. Well, it is. Now, for all you who don't know what Triller is, and I didn't know what Triller was, the first time I heard of Triller was, of course, when Mike Tyson decided to fight Roy Jones Jr. in the Legends League. Mike Tyson teamed up with Triller to start this new Legends League. Well, I thought Triller was just going to be a gimmick, not be serious about the sport. Just do gimmick fights and try to make big money. Well, after they saw the response from Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr., maybe they decided to get serious with this boxing game. And by the size of this purse bid, it looks like they are getting serious. Now, you might also know Triller because this is the company that is going to promote Jake Paul and Ben Askren's next fight. I believe that fight is going to be on April 17th. Now, I doubt they're going to put Teofimo Lopez versus Kambosos on that same card. They could, but I would think as a business plan, it would be smart to separate the two main events and put them on their own cards. But apparently, I did a little research. Triller started out as a company similar to TikTok, but they came out before TikTok. So they were like the original TikToks, I guess. TikTok. And after TikTok came out, and I'm assuming crushed Triller, Triller started moving towards a more social media type platform. And not only that, they decided to team up with Snoop Dogg and a couple other people and start doing live concerts and streaming them to their platform. I've personally never been on Triller, so I don't know exactly how it works. But it just goes to show you that boxing can be profitable. Why else would you bid this much money? I saw an interview with Eddie Hearn today. He says boxing is sexy. Boxing is back. And I'm going to bring it back to a previous video that I did about this is boxing's time to step on UFC's neck. We have superstars. They just need to be promoted properly. UFC are running out of superstars. So this is the time. And maybe with Triller jumping off the balcony and putting big money into the sport of boxing, maybe this will help. And not only will this help, what does it mean for other fighters? What does it mean for maybe Errol Spence and Bud Crawford? Maybe they look at a situation like this and say, well, actually, I don't know if you can go to purse bids on a fight that's not a mandatory. I'm not sure if that would work. But any other people with big names, with a good draw, and if they're in a situation similar to Teofimo Lopez, are they just going to say, screw it, let's go to purse bids and see what happens? Eddie Hearn was just talking about Joe Joyce and Alexander Usyk. That fight was was ordered by the WBO. So that fight can go to purse bids. And Eddie Hearn thinks it's going to go to purse bids. So what does Joe Joyce and Alexander Usyk do? If I was them, I'd look at this situation and go, screw making a deal. Let's just roll the dice, see what happens. Go to the highest bidder. But there's also a downside to what Teofimo Lopez did. Bob Arum came out and stated, well, that's good for Teofimo Lopez. He can go to Triller. We'll take our percentage for being his promotional company. I think that's how it would happen. And he also said if Teofimo Lopez thinks he's going to come back to ESPN after this fight and make similar money, the answer is simply no. So pretty much I see what happened to Mikey Garcia and Bob Arum happening to Teofimo Lopez. They eventually can't settle on fight purses, and Bob Arum is just going to shelf him. Mikey Garcia lost a little over 2 years of his career because he was in a court battle trying to get released. Now, this is a different situation because Teofimo Lopez just signed a new 3.5-year deal right before the Lomachenko fight. Mikey Garcia had an argument that his contract was over. And eventually, Mikey Garcia won. But he lost 2 years of his career and spent probably a little over $1 million in court fees and lawyer fees. So, I'm happy. I always want boxers to make as most money as they can because they risk their life every single time they go in the ring. I'm also happy for George Kambosos and his whole team. Lou DiBella, I think he put out a Twitter post with a picture of some guy popping champagne bottles. I mean, this is just crazy for a guy like George Kambosos to be making over $2 million. And I'm happy for all fighters. And I'm just hoping that this situation doesn't hurt Teofimo Lopez going forward. And maybe this will put a fire under some of these promoters' asses and say, we got to start shelling out big money for the fights. So that's my video. I have no bandwagon fight on this video because this is a spare the moment type deal. And my dog's in the background freaking out. So make sure you go like, subscribe, share. And this is Mo's House. Peace.